Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to our YouTube channel and welcome to this video. So this is part 8 of our PHP RESTful API tutorial. And in this video guys, we're going to discuss the update. So basically, we're just going to add the update function or feature into our PHP RESTful API project. So we have here the create function, as you can see from our post.php file. And then we're going to copy the whole function because the idea of create and update is almost the same. So we're just going to copy all this included in this particular create function, and then right below that we can paste the update. So we're just going to name our function into update. Okay, so this is the update post function. Okay, and of course the query will be a bit different because we're updating a record now. So we'll just say update this table and set all the necessary attributes. So for example, the title, the body, the author, and of course the category ID. And since we're updating a record, we need to set the ID or like filter by ID because we don't want to update all the records. So for now, let's just say where ID equals, we can use the question mark, or we can also use the placeholder colon ID. And of course, we can also do the cleaning of data of the ID. So instead of category ID, and also here, we're just going to say ID, and then indent this to align with the other attributes. Okay, and then of course we need to bind the parameter. So we're using the ID as placeholder for our ID, and the value will be this and then ID, and then it should also execute the query and then return true if the query is successful. Otherwise, print the error message and of course return false. So in our project, we need to create another file for our API. So we have already create.php, also the read_single.php, and then read.php. So now we need to add another one for our update. So that will be update.php. And of course, as a sort of basis for this update.php, we can just copy all the lines of codes that we have added in our create.php and then paste it in our update.php, because as I've said, the logic behind or the theory behind the create and update is almost the same. Okay, so but instead of using post, it should be put. Okay, and then we also need to have the ID here. So post title and then the ID, because we're specifying the ID of the post or the record that we want to update. And of course, instead of using create, we should call the method update, and of course it should be post updated and post not updated. Okay, so I think that's all there is to it for this update.php file. So let's try that in our Postman software. So we have here the create.php, so we're going to use update.php and then specify the ID of the record that we want to update. So ID and then colon and then let's try to see which post or record that we want to update. So we have added this sample API post by using our create.php file, right? Before or from the previous video. So the ID of this is 5. So let's just use that. So ID is 5. And then let's just say updated API post, sample body of an API, sample body of an updated API post from a request. So we have the same author, category ID, and also the ID that we're going to specify or update. And of course, because in our update.php we specify that it should be a put method, so of course we need to use that in our postman in order for us to properly update the data. Okay, so send, and let's try that, and the record or the response says that the post has been updated. So let's try to read all the data. So as you can see here, we have updated the title, and of course we have updated the body of our post. So as you can see, the update function or the update feature of our PHP REST or the PHP API that we are developing is working. So the next step is to create another one or another feature. We will be adding another feature into our PHP REST API. So basically we all have the reading of all the data, reading of a single data or single record, and then also we have creating a record and also the updates. So the last one will be the delete of a certain record. Okay, so basically the same idea. We will be adding the function here for our delete. So that will be delete or public function delete. It should be an easy function right here. So right below the update function, we will have to add the delete function. So that's public function and then delete. Okay, and we just need to create the query here. So that will be query, and then of course delete from, and then this table, and of course where ID, we need to specify the ID of the record that we want to delete, and then we need to say we are preparing the statement, prepare statement, so stmt, and using the connection prepare, so query, and of course we need to clean the data. So we can just copy the this particular line. So clean data, and yeah, ID, and of course we need to bind the parameter. So stmt, and then bind parameter, specify the ID, and of course the actual value, and we're going to execute the query. The same thing here, so just like that. So basically we're just returning true if the statement has been successful, Otherwise, we need to print the error and return false. So I think that's all there is to it for this video, and in the next video guys, I'm going to continue working on with this delete, and we're going to add another file for our API to actually delete the files, or actually delete the record from our database. So thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Thanks.